Hello everyone and welcome to Faithful to the Traitors, where we are here to discuss and analyse in depth the final of the Traitors Island.
Are you showing off because this is the final and you think there's going to be new people listening?
Well, if I was, you've just ruined it.
Sorry, carry on.
They've all turned off now. All our new listeners listening for the final.
Well, they should have been listening from the start. Why aren't you listening from episode 1? Go back.
They would have definitely switched off.
Pause. Rewind, listen from episode 1, and you can hear the madness, the struggle that took us to this point.
Well, what a final that was.
Series 1 of the Irish Traitors.
A little bit of Irish magic going on there, because I'm going to go straight into it. My name's Ben, by the way, everyone. That's most important. Do you want to say your name quick for the captions?
Alex.
Right. So I want to say, could this possibly be the perfect outline of a Traitors series, this Irish series?
What do you mean outline? Well, as in the structure, as in...
Just everything about it was like the perfect of everything. Do you know what I mean?
I get it. Yeah, I do get it. It had its highs, it had its lows, it had its backstabbing, it had its friendship groups.
It had like the first half was its bit, the second half was different characters but still just as good. There was no like lulls. There was no one overly horrible or annoying. There was no one boring. Yeah, but like but like it wasn't like over, like, do you know what I mean? It never got quite to that point where it was annoying to watch.
True. There was no one who you kind of out and out just, it made you angry to see them on screen. Like,
there was no like super nastiness or like,
no.
And like Faithful's one at the end. And
spoilers.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like the outline of this was just like, it was a very good first series.
And do you know what else? The
presenter was good.
The presenter was excellent. The thing is, with the first series, it's the show trying to find its feet, and it always does seem to, for me, the first series of the UK version, I don't think has quite been topped. I know a lot of people loved series 2 of the Traitors UK, but I don't know. For me, series 1, because it was fresh, it was new, and it felt, that's what I think it felt like for the Irish series. It felt fresh, it felt new, it felt like a new program again. It felt like nothing else had come before it, even though it had. It was really good. It was really fun.
I mean, we said right at the beginning of like episode 1, we said like how good the cast was, because it was like such a good, you could just tell that it was a good mix of people, and it was like, it stayed that way right until the end. Like, it wasn't just getting rid of the men or just getting rid of the women, or do you know what I mean? So like, it was just.
But I did like the male-female split. The series, as it got to the latter part of the series, the men versus women felt adamant, and in a weird way, I kind of loved that, because it was like, ooh, boo, Ben and Nick, ooh, yay, Vanessa and Oyan. You know what I mean? And the last couple of episodes, and Kelly. But Vanessa, I mean. We've said this from the start, and we'll probably continue saying this for forever, for the end of time. But Oyan, if it wasn't for Oyan, I truly believe that the Faithful would have crumbled. Oyan was, in my opinion, the cornerstone for every single landmark moment the Faithful had ever
through the whole
done.
Series.
Throughout the whole series.
Yeah.
And to go back on your point about the way the series was structured, again, and this is to credit for the producers and the editors and everyone in the production crew and on RTE. Every week...
Thank you.
You're welcome. Every week 1, 2, 3 and 4, it had an arc. And you don't get that very often, especially on the American series where it's all just streamed. It's just one continuous arc. It feels that way, apart from a few little stories here and there. There was a story from Sunday evening to Tuesday evening. There was one coherent story, and the cliffhangers were coherent, and they weren't just kind of like there. They felt real, like they knew when to reveal information and when not to reveal information to keep people sucked in. And you always looked forward to the next episode coming, which again you don't always get on a series of trailers. So yes, well done. I would clap, but it'll be far too loud for this.
And everyone said anything that RTE normally make is just a load of rubbish and garbage.
Well, we can't comment on that because we don't have RTE.
Said. Oh, like the general comments when it was like before this started, they were like, "Don't get too hopeful because it's RTE."
It's RTE.
But look who's laughing now.
All I know about RTE is it's the equivalent, kind of, not really, of our BBC in the UK, as in they have a license fee, but they also have commercials.
So like Channel 4 then.
There you go. So it's more like Channel 4. It's something that if Nadine Dorries had her hands on it, she'd want to sell it by tomorrow. You know what I mean? She'd want to sell it to an American.
Nadine Dorries, I think you'll say.
Oh, sorry.
Find out her name.
Famous author and nutcase. Sorry, allegedly. Before I get sued by Nadine.
Author.
yeah, allegedly an author. That's what I'm saying is alleged. By the way, if you've got any opinions, it's not too late. You can still get in touch with us because, as we said, we've got loads more to come. We've not, even though, don't cry because the Irish Traitors has ended. Smile because there'll be more Traitors coming, and Big Brother and Race Across the World from this podcast. You can find all the information and also how to follow us on our Linktree, linktr.ee/faithful2. On there, it's got all the links to our YouTube channel, our Spotify, our Apple Podcast, and all our favorite podcast apps, and also on our Instagram and our TikTok, which you can follow us on there. And if you like the podcast, if you've been following us from episode 1 of this Car Crash podcast to this final episode of this Irish Traitors, and you want to say, you know what, like RTE, you did a good job, throw us some coin. Go to buymeacoffee.com/faithful, coff.ee/faithful, and that helps us basically produce this show and pay for ins and outs around the house.
Our in-depth analysis.
Yes.
We can't, obviously you wanted to forget Kelly earlier, but we can't forget Kelly because I do feel at the breakfast, her and Owen were talking in the morning, just them.
Owen in the morning.
And
Kelly. With Owen.
That's why it's such a good name. I wonder what game she plays. She's meant to be a gamer.
She's a gamer. Wasn't it a gamer and model?
Possibly. Why not both?
What game would it be? I bet it's a cozy game.
Do you think it's cozy games or shooting games?
Animal Crossing. I feel like she's an Animal Crossing.
I'll have a look on her Instagram in a minute.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Kelly was actually, we have to give her props. She was, because they were talking about maybe Nick's a traitor, maybe Ben's a traitor, blah, blah, blah. Kelly was then the one who then turned to Owen and said, why not both? True. And that triggered something in Owen's head. So you want to give all the credit to Owen, but I do think Kelly had a role there this morning to make them think, actually, no, because they've been pushing the agenda of it has to be one girl, must be a traitor. Kelly was the one who said maybe it's both of them. Maybe it's Ben and Nick. So
I just think Owen brings out the best in people. So even though Owen may not come out directly with a theory, she's one of those kind of open people that someone could, like Kelly and Vanessa, can come up to her and they can have a conversation without the fear of being talked down to or contradicted or told otherwise. Again, if it was a different situation, Owen had been a traitor, perhaps we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. But I just think that Kelly was completely right when she came to the breakfast table and said, why are we not thinking that it's the two guys? We keep saying it's one of the guys who's a traitor. Why not both? And Owen was like, yeah, that's a good point. And then that's when Ben came in and they were awkward. Ben came in and was like, oh, hi girls, how are you? We're having a good sleep. And Owen was like, oh, pastries.
I know. I felt sorry for Ben all episode because the breakfast one, they didn't want to talk to him. And he was like, we're not talking gameplay, are we? They were like, no, we're not. And then there was just silence. And then on the car home after the mission, Ben was in a car with Vanessa and Kelly, I think. Or was it Owen? One of them. And once more, we're not talking gameplay, are we? No, we don't do that on the final. Then they cut to Kelly and Nick in the car, and Nick was going blah, 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 blah,
this
game.
That was Nick's.
So poor Ben didn't get a chance to play.
Ben also was upset that he couldn't call Vanessa Nessa, which then came up later.
Only my friends call me Nessa.
Am I not your friend? Which was a really sweet moment. I genuinely thought he meant that as well. He didn't mean it as in a gameplay at all. I think this, to Ben's benefit, I would say that he clearly he was a good traitor, but I don't think he wanted to be a traitor. No,
not like Nick.
Not like Nick, who said he wanted to be a faithful, but actually did always want to be a traitor. Ben, I think it was just a circumstance that unfortunately he was a blackmailer, so he had to say yes.
And he still did well for being a late recruit traitor. Yeah. He didn't get killed in the first episode, so he lasted right to the final. So he did well, but yeah, it was just a bit sad that no one wanted to talk gameplay around him, which probably made him
is a red flag, isn't it? I think I think we should, as viewers, we spotted that as a red flag for Ben. That
I just scrolled Oyen's Instagram, by the way.
Yes,
I can't see one game on there.
Oh, what a liar!
So she's less gamer and model, more model and gamer.
Okay,
so I think they should have flipped that around. But lots of photos of her on beaches and stuff.
Good,
but none of her playing games.
That's traitorous behaviour if I ever heard.
But maybe that's just what her Instagram is about. Maybe she's got another account somewhere.
She could have a TikTok.
A Twitch or something.
Yeah, she could have a Twitch channel.
I'll research
or
later.
YouTube gaming.
Off the camera.
I just want to say about you talking about Nick in the car, Nick having a conversation with Kelly in the car on the journey back. I think this was the beginning of Nick's unraveling. Because Nick was adamant that he's been playing. Nick's strength was, throughout the last couple of episodes, sitting back, not saying anything and letting everyone battle it amongst themselves. That was Nick's strength. Nick now had to go, instead of the defense, had to go on the attack. This is where Nick didn't do so well. And
he did it too much.
Exactly. He tried too hard. He was pushing his thoughts and agenda too much. Kelly was noticing this.
And he did it to Kelly twice. Like, he did it in the morning, and she kind of looked at the camera like, what the hell are you on about? And then in the car, he was going on, and she said, oh yeah, and maybe you were recruited. And he was like, yeah, well, maybe that's when the recruitment happened. She was like, what did you just say?
Oh, yes, he said, maybe Paulie recruited you. And you went, yeah. Oh, sorry, what? And he's like, oh, Nick, come on, mate. You got to keep your back up. But this is it. And Nick, when they first approached Kelly, Nick and Ben approached Kelly after the breakfast table. They asked her, they said, oh, so I suppose the girls have been chatting to you about how you're going to vote for me. And Kelly was like, actually, no, they weren't. So that kind of made Kelly immediately think, well, why are they so hard at trying to get Vanessa voted for? But Vanessa and Owen are a bit like, let's enjoy the day and we'll just talk about the round table later.
Typical army boys.
Nick's not in the army. Nick's an estate agent, although in his mind he probably thinks that's being on the battlefield. I'm going on the battlefield, lads. I'm selling a flat. I mean, it's a conversion.
We did request it yesterday. We said the counting mission was cheap and boring. They better be saving the budget.
That's where they were saving the budget for.
Well, didn't they just?
A bit of Bunsen burner.
It turned into, speaking of Oyen being the gamer, it turned into a video game where they had to collect the 4 elements to get your power and the crystals and all sorts.
I love this. I just love I don't know if I've talked about the captions on the screen on the podcast. I've talked to you about it because I get a bit obsessed with captions.
Like, not on the TV show. But you haven't talked about it
on this podcast. The captions on the TV. I get a bit obsessed with like on-screen captions. Like if yesterday we were watching Politics Live on TV, and they've changed the graphics on screen. And the first thing I did was go, "Oh my god, they've changed the graphics on screen." Not about what was happening in politics. Oh no. So the
Traitors Ireland, right?
The Traitors Ireland graphics are tiny for one, which I actually love,
and they're really like far in.
They're really far in. Reason. Like they're in the screen grab area. It seems to be.
It's like Ireland don't have widescreen yet or something, so they're like in 12.
Yeah, they're kind of inside. Whatever. They're still in the 3x4 box area. But I love the little graphic they had of the little orb and the 0-5. And they counted each one up one by one. It just reminded me so much of a video game.
Yeah, it's an RPG. We had Kelly was the intelligent one.
Yes.
Oyen was the
Lara Croft,
the magic user. Ben was Lara Croft.
Ben was Lara Croft. I'm sorry, I retract my what.
Nick was the elf.
Nick was Moneybags.
And Vanessa was the knight. And they went on their mission. Kelly had a notepad where she was writing down all the graffiti and the shoes that she found and the rubbish, the packets of crisps, whatever she could get her hands on.
It looked like It looked like somewhere where teenagers go.
Yeah,
and
like a
on
crunched
a Friday
up
night.
can of beer or something.
And they just leave an old fire that they've just let burn out. About a dozen cans of like really weak lager, a bottle of White Lightning, and then just loads and loads of bags of Space Raiders. That's what it looked like. It looked like a Friday night for a teenager.
Kelly found it all.
And Kelly was the one responsible for it.
Some Bud Light here. Is this a clue? Let me write it down. Yeah, but Ben was Action Man because he was in the army.
Well, because he was in the army. Because he was in the army,
he could row.
But no,
row. Oh, slower. Row. Vanessa was really pissed off the whole episode. We'll talk about Vanessa's mood later because she seemed really angry. Like, I don't know. She seemed
she's just
or pissed
tired.
off or something.
No, I think she was just tired. I think she was at her wit's end. I think she was ready for it to end. Look at the emotion that came out of Vanessa at the fire pit at the very
she was acting
end.
really odd at the end. Like she was a traitor. And it's like, what's happening? But we'll talk about that later. But yeah,
because Ben was in the army, he was able to read out numbers aloud onto a walkie-talkie.
Yeah. Leave that to Ben.
That's a skill that only you can gain in the army.
That's what his boyfriend Nick said. We left it to Ben because he's an army lad. Click. 1, 2, 3. Click. I could be in the army, I think.
It's training that I think we should all get at school. Reading out aloud a number from a page.
Did you see as well when they were running towards the tower that Ben and Nick were behind and they cut across the grass and got in front of the girls? And I thought that's typical of you two, actually. The girls followed the path. Nick and Ben went across the cut of grass, the corner, and created, what are they called? A natural footpath that are created.
Oh, yeah, there's a word for it, isn't there, when they make a natural footpath?
They did one of them and got in front of the girls. So
I noticed, and not that I'm obsessed with Nick, because truly I am not obsessed with Nick.
Say you are.
But I was watching Nick in the challenge, and I noticed when they first were told to start, when the challenge started and they were told to go, he almost fell over on the shingles on the path, which I thought was brilliant. 2, when he got out of the van, Ben waited for him.
Yes. Yeah, Ben was ahead on the path.
Come on, Nick, come on.
And he looked back, make sure Nick was there. Nick was close enough, he then started to run.
Then they held hands and skipped.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah. I love Ben and Nick. I will miss Ben and Nick so much from my life. I love them so much. Their friendship will endure the rest of time.
I mean, we know that this cast don't wait or sleep around because, breaking news, everyone, Paul D, who I assume is the winner of this series.
Oh, I see, the winner. He's in a pantomime.
I was about to say, he doesn't take long, does it?
No.
Get those contracts signed. He's in a pantomime, apparently.
He's
probably getting paid more than the winners of the series.
More likely.
So, Ben and Nick, are they going to do an Irish travelling series when Ben does army?
I would love
army things with him, makes Nick do them.
Well, like Bear Grylls.
Yeah.
So Ben kind of shows him survival.
Ben Grylls Nick.
Ben Grylls Nick.
Naked and Afraid
Island. RTE writes itself.
Ben takes him on dangerous.
Ben takes him
on dangerous excursions.
Excursions, yes. That would be fun, actually. I'd watch that. So Ben basically shows him like survival skills.
Yeah,
like he weases into a pot and then boils it and says, "Nick, drink my piss." Nick's like, "You don't need to boil it, Ben," and guzzles it down.
You always have to go just too far, don't you?
I do. I'm sorry. I apologise to anyone listening or watching on YouTube, Spotify, or any of your favourite podcast apps.
I'm assuming in Ireland, Paul D has been the winner of the series, like the famous one, the one who's doing it.
He's the Diane of the series. Let's be honest. He's the.
I still have hope for Nick. Ben, sorry, not Nick. Ben got gifted a free suit for the final, so he's doing okay too, everyone. Hashtag gifted.
I have to say, from what I was reading just before we started, the ratings, and I go on about this all the time, but the ratings have been outstanding in Ireland. Like, its market share is 60% or more, which is just unthinkable in today's television climate. So
bigger than Eurovision.
So, especially in Ireland because they pulled out. So, I think all of them have got a very good future ahead of them. Yeah, be it local radio or pantomime or.
I can see Faye presenting on the Irish version of This Morning if there is one. She can do the competitions.
Island AM.
She can do the competition bits if they do them in Ireland.
Faye would do the competitions really well, wouldn't she? It's like, and we're crossing over to Faye where you can win a camper van. Hi, guys.
She's currently at a water park, going down a slide, reading out terms and conditions.
I'd watch that. I'd watch that.
So, big career for all of them.
I'm really happy for them because, as you said at the top of the show, not one bad apple in the group.
No. I know we made fun of Nick a lot.
Yes, but this is what we say at the beginning of every series. We don't look. Everything we say is tongue so firmly in our cheek that the skin is actually growing between the tongue, and like a person who sits on the sofa for too long.
Lots of tongue description.
The skin bonds to the leather.
You might get Ben and Nick excited with this, so calm down.
But I loved them all. The only disappointment for me was we didn't see Diane enough. I feel like Diane didn't have her time to shine.
Gemma didn't even get in the game, did she? Twice she had a chance to, and they said no.
Gemma. Poor Gemma.
All I want to do is make some friends. No.
I think Gemma should get another chance. Although my heart would break if Gemma came into series 2 and then they did it to her again. I would honestly, my poor heart.
The game was just big, spectacular. They had to go through fire, earth, wind, water, air, spirits.
I think you added one there. It doesn't matter. Carry on.
Oyen got given a purple ball from Siobhan.
Oyen's reaction
was very excited.
Yeah. Oyen's reaction was mute at best.
It's like when you're given a pair of socks for Christmas and you have to pretend you're like, oh thanks. That's what Oyen did when she got given this purple ball. Like that's not the prize, Oyen, but that's fine.
Get ready for an old reference. I wanted a Nintendo 64 type reaction from Oyen when she got the orb.
When they ran up the
just ignore
what
me.
was it? The lighthouse, whatever it was, the tower. They had a chest of gold. So they got 10,000 euros.
10,000 euros. So the total prize pot was 42,900 euros. I don't know what that odd number at the beginning was about. Like, that was such an odd number to like pretend you were going to win. Was it 7,000?
Yeah, and then she said, what the hell, it's the final?
It's
Bump it up to
10,000.
10.
But I don't understand. I don't know.
Just leave her alone.
It's a silly little
Siobhan
thing.
was feeling generous.
Can I just mention that when they were at the round table and Siobhan was just repeating the rules about how the money will be split depending on the winners, she said that if there's only faithful left in the game, the money will be split between all the faithful. If there's traitors left in the game, a traitor takes the lot.
So one traitor can win.
So yes. So going back to what
how
I
come
said
Ben
in the
and
last
Nick
episode,
spent the whole time saying they were going to both win and share it then?
I don't know. Maybe they weren't.
Maybe they got joint bank accounts. Wouldn't surprise me. They probably set one up when they were filming.
Yeah, quickly call.
Do you
the
think
bank.
it's time that we have a joint account?
We've been together for 2 weeks. Do you think it's time? Yeah, go on then.
Being an army man, yes. I think that. The round table I really enjoyed and I loved it because...
I loved it.
I loved it so much. It was so glamorous and pretty and amazing. I loved it. Because Vanessa, Oyen and Kelly were just going. Yeah. And it was so fun to see.
It was.
That they were just going for Nick, and it was just brilliant to watch. And none of them got fooled. None of them tripped over their words.
No.
Nick was the one who was struggling, and I really enjoyed watching that moment of television.
It was cool because Nick was so confident.
I was just sat there with popcorn, and I was just like, yes. These are three. That was when the moment I was like, I want these three to win because that was just brilliant. They weren't messed around. They didn't get fooled. They stuck to their guns. Voted him.
They went in with facts. The facts couldn't have been disputed. They literally went through the whole history of the show with Nick. Like and
they listened to each other.
Yeah, they helped each other's arguments along. So when Nick was trying to interrupt Oyen or Vanessa, Kelly would step in. One of the greatest points they brought up was the fact that Nick and Ben, but mostly Nick, kept going on about how Faye couldn't be a traitor. They believed that Faye wasn't, but and this and that. And they said, well, why did you change your vote then? Because you said from the beginning you weren't going to vote for Faye and then you changed your vote. That's because you were a traitor and you saw the way but I did see it. But so yeah, Nick
just flawless round table there.
Nick just fell apart because Nick went in thinking that he was going to he said he was going to get Vanessa's back against the wall, make her lose her temper and scream. Vanessa even brought that up later when Nick tried to use that as a defense and Vanessa was like, don't you call me aggressive. I've been true to myself the whole time and I've kept to facts. I've just been very passionate about the way I've put it. Not aggressive. Don't talk to me like, down to me.
So, yeah, I'm talking the exact same as you, Nick.
I'm on the same level you're on. But Nick, dead ass. But Nick did you could tell his frustration was elevating.
He knew he was losing.
And he was losing the argument.
But I enjoyed that. And because it was series 1, they also didn't do the thing where you're not allowed to say when you're banished if you're a traitor or faithful. They admitted it.
Which I prefer.
Nick was allowed to say it, but even at the end game, Ben then said he was a traitor.
That was how it was in the original series.
So that's interesting.
In the original UK series, they changed it. Anyone who's this isn't a spoiler, but in the most current series in the UK, and it's always been in the American series, they don't say on the final round table or the fire pit when they leave if they're a traitor or a faithful. I don't like that change. Genuinely don't like that change because I feel like it gives an opportunity for, and I think we saw
traitor to win.
But it's not just that it gives traitors a bit of more of an advantage, but also it gives an opportunity for 2 people or 3 people or whatever who don't want to share the money with someone else to vote them off on the premise that they believe they're a traitor. Yeah. And I just think that's a bit as well, which is why recently in more later series, the winners don't feel quite so nice, which is another reason why in this series of the Irish traitors, the 3 winners felt right, it felt good, and it felt a joyous occasion, and people really felt good about the outcome of it.
Well, apart from Vanessa, because when I was watching her, she looked like I didn't know what she didn't celebrate when Nick got banished, but nor did Ben. But the reason that Ben wasn't celebrating because he had to pretend like his best friend of the game was a traitor and he wasn't. So I understand why Ben didn't celebrate.
And Nick gave him a leg up, don't forget. He said, remember Paudie wasn't...
He was half right.
Paudie was half right.
And then Vanessa wasn't celebrating, but Oyen and Kelly was, and then Siobhan literally pointed it out to them. And then from then on into the end game, Vanessa kind of wouldn't look people in the eye and she was being very quiet. And I was like, why? I wondered if she was suspecting like Oyen or something this whole time. And she thought, oh, wait, I've been betrayed by Oyen here. But then she didn't vote her and then she chose to end the game. So I don't know why
I
was acting like that.
honestly believe that this
Too emotional.
was not emotional. I think Vanessa just had so much built up, like having to defend herself and having played this game. And obviously, and I just think it was a relief. I do genuinely believe that it was a relief.
She was out of energy. Fight.
This was it. This was her final. Like Ben at the fire pit, Nick had been taken out at the round table, and then at the fire pit, Ben got voted off by Oyen Kelly and Vanessa. But Ben wrote Nessa on his board, almost like it was kind of cute, wasn't it? Don't you think it was?
Friends?
It was a last olive branch to say like,
can I call you Nessa?
Yeah, but also I'm sorry. I've had to play the game as a traitor.
No hard feelings. And I just think that was the moment when Vanessa kind of just went a bit like, oh God, this is the game. Yeah. And maybe she felt like at that point that Ben wasn't a traitor, and so she felt really guilty for pushing the agenda toward him. Maybe she thought that if Ben came out as being a faithful, everyone would then start accusing her as being a traitor. You don't know what's going on in poor Vanessa's mind. I just think at the round table when Nick got banished, it was relief. I think the reason she said nothing was because she had to calculate her thoughts. And she obviously... She didn't want to make people look at her, maybe.
No, but people were looking at her for doing that. Yeah. I just think that if in her mind, the ideal thing would have happened was when Nick said, I'm a traitor, and walked off, Vanessa was able to just get up, leave, and then collect herself, have her 5 minutes just to kind of think things through. But she wasn't allowed that. She had to stay at the round table. Obviously, we know why Ben looked upset, because he thought, uh-oh, I'm in trouble now.
Will I ever see my Nick again?
And will I ever see my Nick again? We've got a joint account.
I didn't get to
How
say
am I going to
goodbye.
take the money out? I've just got a pension for him. I don't want to say that Vanessa wasn't hysteria or anything like that. I just think it's just genuine.
Odd. It was just odd, like the way that they left her till last to say she was faithful. I don't know. It was just all a bit like, I thought something was going to happen where she was going to vote off again and get Oyen or something, but she didn't. So I was like, oh well, why are you acting like that? But I loved Vanessa.
Those three. I love Vanessa. I think I mean, like I say, Oyen, Kelly, Vanessa, what a team. What an absolute team.
Oyen broke my curse of saying she's my favourite, and she didn't get voted off. So,
well, I didn't have a lot of hope for Oyen at the top of the series. And series 1,
she wasn't in it much, was she?
And I was like, I don't think we're going to see much of Oyen. And then slowly but surely she kept seeping in, and she was seeping. Sorry, that's an awful term to say, but she started to influence, and bit by bit, it was her first time when she first came out with the 3 traitors. When she was the first one to say Caitlin, Eamon, and Paudie were the traitors. She said them outright.
Yeah, and people didn't, and the traitors didn't murder her, so they obviously didn't see her as a threat or anything. So
she played a good game. She as you said, she pointed out traitors, but traitors didn't see her as a threat or suspect. Where others can be like almost a beacon for the traitors, she was not. Like, flipping. I'm sorry. I love Kelly. I love Vanessa, but for me, Oyen.
Yeah, Oyen was my winner, 100%. Followed by Ben.
Well, Ben didn't win. Ben lost.
My winner, I said.
Oh, I see.
We think. Because he's an army man, no other reason.
Because he's an army man, he's able to use a walkie-talkie, and that's the main thing. But
and he said it was the friends that you make along the way. It's better than winning the It's better than winning the money. So he's happy, boy. So there you go, Ireland. You did the traitors well. So well done.
Well done, Ireland. And I understand they're casting for season 2, so you have got a second one coming. RTE, please don't do a Channel 4. You just said you like Channel 4. Don't do a Channel 4 and do 2 series a year. Keep it to 1. If you need to do a second series, just do a celebrity version if you want. That's what the BBC decided to do.
22 Irish celebrities.
Graham Norton.
Louis Walsh.
Louis Walsh would be amazing. I'm not joking. Louis Walsh would be... I
saw a video of him
on
on TikTok the other day. He was like driving his Land Rover down a narrow one-way street outside a pub, and like loads of Irish people were outside going, Louis, you can't do that. And it was like, what's happening here? It's like everyone knows who Louis Walsh in Ireland, or what's going on. So that made me laugh, that video on TikTok. So that's your Irishism and knowledge history lesson of this episode. Everyone.
Louis Walsh drove down
Louis Walsh down a narrow
one-way street.
It wasn't even, it was like it wasn't a road though. It
like
was
a lane.
A street where only people walk. What's it called?
Oh, a pedestrian
area.
It
was a pedestrian little lane, and he was trying to drive down it, and all the people coming out of the pub going, Louis, come on. Like, they know him. Like, is he just known? Does he just wander around?
Louis is unravelling bit by bit, do you not think? Remember he lost Celebrity Big Brother? He
Yes,
did.
well. And on that boy band documentary show,
he
just
looked awful
like
in that. The Boyzone one.
Yeah,
I'm glad I told that story about Ronan Kemp. Ronan Keating. Who is the one from Ronan Kemp? No,
I can't remember.
That's the one from Spandau Ballet. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. But yeah,
Ronan Kemp is on Celebrity Race Across the World, everyone.
Oh yeah, that's his son. Martin Kemp is his dad.
Yes, but he's also not the one you're thinking.
Rowan Keating, isn't it?
Rowan Keating.
Is
No,
that
it
the
was
one
Stephen
from Boyzone?
Gately. He was like, he's got 4 pages.
Oh,
He
yeah,
should be
yeah.
happy with him being
I'm
outed.
glad I outed him being a gay man. I'm pleased that I outed someone. Oh, Louis, you naughty man.
So yeah,
Naughty.
Louis Walsh for the Traitors Ireland Series 2. We can all hope. So there you go, everyone. That's the end, I think.
Yes, thank you so much for everyone to watch and listening to our analysis of the Traitors. If you're not watching the video, I did very hard quotation marks to analysis of the Traitors Ireland. As I say, keep following us on our linktree, linktr.ee/faithful2. On there, you can follow us on all our social medias and also all our podcast links and stuff. We've got lots of big news coming.
Back in a few days, aren't we? When are we back for Big Brother?
It'll be Monday, probably. Big Brother UK Series 3 we'll be covering. We're also covering Traitors UK Celebrity. We're also covering Traitors Canada Series 3.
At some point. We don't know when yet.
Who knows?
Because they do one a week and it's stupid. But
And
anyway.
we're covering no, we're not. We're covering Race Across the World Celebrity as well. So there's lots to come. And then in the new year,
Good
we've
luck with
also
that.
then got Traitors UK Series 4 and Traitors America and hopefully Traitors New Zealand and Australia. So, lots and lots and lots coming.
Got
So
2 of US. They're doing a celebrity and a civilian one, aren't they, next year?
This is what baffles me because the American normal one is the celebrity one.
That's what I mean. Their spin-off one is the civilian one, which will be much better, by the way.
I'm presuming that the actual dedicated celebrity one won't just have people from Bravo on it on the NBC.
Won't it?
Well, we'll see. So yes, follow us, linktree, linktr.ee/faithful2. It's got all our links on Instagram, TikTok, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, all that guff. And if you liked this podcast and you want to say thank you, then please go to buymeacoffee.com/faithful or coff.ee/faithful. And on there you can give us £5 and that will pay for a gold coin that will help toward the making of this show. But as always, thank you so much for joining us for the whole...
All our Irish followers we've got now. They keep popping up on my thing, all these Irish names.
Love it.
So wonderful.
Absolutely love it.
Yes.
I was just going to quickly also add that the Traitor's Dilemma can be played with 2 players as justified by...
But it didn't because Nick got voted off very early.
Yes.
By the 3 amazing women. So there you go.
Strong and beautiful women. Amazing.
And the strong, beautiful Ben.
Ben didn't vote Nick off.
Ben was one of the girls. Right. We will see you all in a few days if you're on Big Brother Watch. But until the next Traitors series you're interested in, we'll see you then. Goodbye.